All right, welcome back to Zen Well Therapy. This is going to be part three of mindfulness, and maybe the last part. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so if you watched the first two videos of mindfulness, this will probably make more sense. If you haven't, this video alone could be helpful. So we'll just see how it goes. I call this concept of mindfulness movement is life, but stillness is living. Okay? So I'll say it again. Movement is life, but stillness is living. All right? So, a big part of this concept of mindfulness is learning how to be present, right? And hopefully, a lot of people can relate to this. Okay? So, let's break down the quote I just mentioned. So movement is life. What does that mean, right? A lot of times in our life, okay, in just daily living in society, um, we want to go out and do things. We want to go out and experience things, right? We want to go out and learn something. Fill in the blank, right? Um, Not many of us want to just like stay at home 24/7 and not do anything, right? It's like, hey, we want to go to that new restaurant. We want to get some dessert. We want to go to work. We want to go on vacation. We want to go to that museum or that church or temple. I mean, you name it, we want to go somewhere, right? As human beings, we want to go experience the world as best as we can with the limited time we have on this planet. Okay, so um, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? We all live our lives that way. I'll say for the most part, unless you're just a super introvert and you just like being at home all the time. Okay, so that part I think is kind of self-explanatory. Okay, so the second part, but stillness is living, right? So what does that mean regarding the concept of mindfulness? So the way I would break it down is, let's say you're out doing something. Okay, here's a good example. Let's say you're at work. Okay, um, but when you're at work, maybe you kind of don't like your job, or it's not the best fit right now, or you kind of wish you made more money, or maybe you're thinking like, I think rather than working, I'd rather just like be at home with my family. Okay, so let's use that example. If you're at work, you're physically working, okay, so whatever your job is or career, but in the back of your mind, if you're constantly thinking about like, oh, but I really want to be home with the kids, I really want to be home with my spouse, and I'd rather just be over there because like, work today, it sucks. It's a bad day at work, and I'd rather just be over here at home relaxing or playing golf or whatever it is, right? And so um, if your mind is not still and it's not present, then are you really living, right? Because if you're doing something but your mind is always somewhere else, it could be in the past or the future, right? um, then are you really living in the moment? Because life is this moment, the present time, right? Um, if you view it as like, if life and time is like a river and you're standing in the river, right? Now it's flowing kind of like maybe knee high, and you have a cup and you're like, wow, I really want to like cherish this moment and be present with the river. Okay. And in your cup, you try to scoop some of this water, right, of the river that's going to represent present time. The moment you scoop up that water, there's a hole in your cup and it's gone, right? The present moment, we can't grab it and save it for a later time. Once you try to grab it, it's already gone. I know this might sound very like a little esoteric, but just if you really think about the present moment, it's always flowing, and the moment you notice it, it's gone. Right? That's how linear time is like for us as human beings, in my opinion. right? So, um, and also you can't escape the present moment. Okay, Alan Watts, he's a really famous British philosopher many years ago. He explained this like if you try to escape the present moment, you also can't do that. So you can't save it. You can't save it for a rainy day, and you cannot escape it. So what do? Right? You accept it as it is, because that's all we have. It's every moment that goes by. But our minds believes there could be a different reality, right? So if you're with your family, okay, let's flip the scenario. If you're with your family and now you're thinking like, oh, but I think I'd just rather be at work. Or I feel guilty for not working hard at work now and working on my career and moving up the corporate ladder or whatever it is, then you're not very present with your family to spend that quality time because your mind is somewhere else. Okay. And if you go to a next step, so if your body is here, your mind is over here, let's say your spirit is over here, it would be very difficult to be fully living because there is no alignment, right? It's almost like a part of you is over there, a part of you is here, and a part of you is over there. Um, Now, a lot of us do this probably daily, right? That's what the mind does. Um, if it thinks about the past, that could be a lot of depression. It thinks about the future with a lot of worries. That could be anxiety. But it goes back and forth, right? So, in this concept of mindfulness, the third part, okay, um, by practicing certain meditations, certain exercises, certain just check ins with your own mind, it can help someone be more present. So now, if you are moving around in life, but now this is very still, then I would say you are fully living because you're there, right? If if you're eating a meal, you're there. Your whole attention is on the meal. If you're exercising and working on your body, you're there because that's all there is at the moment. If your mind is thinking like, okay, what I gotta do for work later while you're working out, or like, oh, what I gotta do for the kids, or like, oh, what bills I gotta pay, then yeah, your body's working out, but your mind is somewhere else, right? And over time, that can create a lot of chaos internally, a lot of stress, and other symptoms of mental health issues. Okay, so um, this may just be a reminder for people that maybe you already know, right? But a lot of people, from my experience working with clients, they're unaware of this type of concept, right? Because they just think it's so normal that if I'm here, I got to think about something that's really important or that's really bothering me instead of bringing your mind back through training and conditioning where you can just be present, right? I'll give you, this might be a silly example, but this happens often for me personally, okay? If if I'm eating lunch with my wife, okay? We're eating lunch, and in the middle of lunch, we're still eating. My wife will ask, "Oh, like what sounds good for dinner?" And I'm thinking like, I have no idea. I'm still trying to like just enjoy my lunch, right? So I'm trying to practice being very present during our lunch and just enjoying conversation. But her mind jumps to dinner, which is like several hours later, right? And so again, that could be a silly example, but there could be a lot of examples that are cause a lot of stress, right? So let's say if someone is thinking about, let's say their career, that's a pretty common one. So if they're at their current job, okay, and they don't like their job, their mind is going to be in the future somewhere. It's like, how do I get out of this? I don't like this. What do I got to do to get over here? I'm worried about my future. and they're living really far out now, right? And so with this approach, I help clients, um, again, bring them back to the present moment, right? This is what's happening now, right? If you want to plan something now, great. That is not a problem, right? We usually need to prepare and plan for our future, okay? But you can do that in the present moment. Because if anxiety takes over, and all you're doing is just worrying about the future, right? It's like, yeah, now you're at work, but your mind is way over there. So how efficient will you be at your workplace, right? Um, with your family, if you're with your family, but your mind is constantly thinking about your work, your business, um, health issues, or family issues, or whatever's going on, then um, what are you giving to your family? Just your body, like just your physical presence, but mentally you're like checked out, right? And so um, if I'm with, you just even with like personal friends or family, if I sense that they're not present, okay, I'm not saying like I'm present 24/7, absolutely not, right? But I do a pretty good job nowadays as I get older to be more present more often, okay? So if I sense someone they're not being present, I'll ask them like, hey, um, I know you're here, but like, where are you? Like, where's your mind? Because I can see it on their face, I can see in their body language, like, where are you at? Because it seems like your focal point, your focus, it's not here, right? So it's hard for us to interact and engage if you're not here, right? And they're like, oh, like I'm stressed out about this, I'm worried about that, and so um, simple um, suggestions and words like that to yourself can help you be more present, right? Because if you're present, yeah, movement is life, but stillness is living. And a lot of times, clients would tell me either directly or it's implied. It's like, you know what? Um, I exist, I'm alive, but I'm not really living right now, right? And it's because their mind is in the past or the future, their body stuck in the present, and their spirit is way over there. So with this approach, I try to help clients align themselves so they're in harmony, right? This internal system is in harmony, everything's in sync. And then from there, making changes is much easier. Um, Making adjustments in life is much easier, right? Not saying it is easy, but it just becomes easier, right? There is a flow of things that happen when we are more present, from my experience. So I hope this helps. Um, there's probably a ton of information in mindfulness that I'm not explaining, but again, these are the concepts that have worked for me and for the clients I've worked with. So who knows? I might make part 4, 5, 6. Like I really don't know how many parts I'm going to make, but I really enjoy this concept because it's helped me throughout the years, through my own journey of life and a lot of clients as well. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope it helps someone watching. So besides that, be well, Zen well, and I'll see you soon.